The world runs on encrypted digital data, but standard encryption methods are vulnerable. When they fail, it makes bad cyber attacks worse, and the old paradigm is growing less adequate all the time. I'm Dr. Eric Cole with thoughts on a better way forward. Too many security breaches and failures put too much sensitive data in the hands of too many bad actors. Who do we blame? Wily adversaries, human error, but most of all, blame old security protocols used for decades. Until now, there's been nothing better. No new encryption paradigm that's mathematically superior, measurably more secure, and doesn't take massive computing power. Until now. I've been in network security for 30 years. At Fortune 50 companies, top international banks, and the CIA. I want you to see what I think Theon technology means to data security. But let's look first at the state of cryptography today. How it works, why it's vulnerable, and why it's so risky to go on this way. The more we understand the old order, the more we can appreciate a new approach, the Theon approach. The encryption we depend on is based on simple, consistent principles and systems. Digital information is stored as strings of binary digits, zeros and ones. A Word document, a cat video, or a nuclear launch code, zeros and ones. The more complex the data, the longer the string. When you want to protect a piece of data, you run it through an encryption algorithm. Now those zeros and ones are scrambled. Transmit it from one locale to another, and in that state, it's almost impossible to decode. Until it gets where it's going, and some authorized user or program applies a decryption algorithm. Now, it looks like text or video again. Creating these algorithms, though, that's hard work. It's not practical to break out a new algorithm for each new piece of sensitive data. So, standard practice is to repurpose encryption and decryption algorithms. They become common. Because they're so common, we secure data by pairing standard algorithms with cryptographic keys. A cryptographic key is just another string of numbers. Theoretically, random numbers. Think of a big hotel where the managers want to strike a balance between total security and economical operations. The physical locks on the doors are the algorithms. The card you get at check-in is the cryptographic key. Every room has an identical mechanical lock, but your key only opens the lock on your room door. In an ideal world, this system of algorithmic locks and cryptographic keys delivers good security with reasonable economy. But we don't live in an ideal world. Information is only as secure as that cryptographic key. Decode it or steal it, and you've stolen the data it's protecting. We see two bad practices here. One, we see those cryptographic keys stored alongside sensitive data, right on the same server. Efficient, but the keys are too easy to find. Imagine if your hotel taped everybody's room keys to the outsides of every door. Technically, the doors are locked. In practice, they're as good as open. Second bad practice, identical keys protecting different troves of data. To defy code crackers, cryptographic keys require a certain level of mathematical complexity. Issuing billions of unique keys is normally a nightmare, so keys get reused. When we ask why big cybersecurity breakdowns are so catastrophic, inadequate keys, and storage practices are big reasons why. Another reason, more powerful mathematics. I said cryptographic keys are composed of theoretically random numbers. With enough math, they may be crackable, and computing horsepower is more plentiful all the time. That's why cryptography, as we've known it for decades, is vulnerable and failing today. What we really want is an efficient way to generate truly unique cryptographic keys at scale. What we really want is a system easy to integrate on both the client side and server levels. What we really want is a software-based solution that doesn't demand massive computing power. If you had all that, you'd have a security revolution. Which brings me back to Theon technology. Theon cryptographic software delivers a new level of encryption without specialized hardware. We've probably all used multi-factor authentication or a one-time pad to access sensitive data like your brokerage account. An OTP adds an extra security layer by adding a unique key to a data transaction, but they can be unwieldy and irritating. Think of the Theon solution as a virtual OTP, effortless to use, zero irritation factor. Encryption keys generated Theon's way are different from the output of so-called random number generators. Theon uses high entropy, irrational numbers. In plain English, an order of magnitude more secure, far less vulnerable to decoding efforts, even when powered by quantum computing. Remember how I said typical keys are stored on the same server alongside sensitive data? Theon keys live elsewhere. Even if a hacker gets in, they need the key, they won't find it. And if someone somehow, someday, cracked one Theon key, the payoff would be one mere morsel of data, because no two rooms in your data hotel accept the same key. Because with Theon, it's now possible to generate a very large volume of very complex cryptographic keys with very low effort. Think back to news stories of big cyber breaches. We hear that 100 million, 200 million records were compromised. If Theon's solution had been deployed at the scene of some of these headline-grabbing cybercrimes, I believe the damage would have been minimal, maybe even non-existent. Because Theon generates a high volume of unique, very robust keys. Frustrated cybercriminals who detect Theon systems are going to go seek out more vulnerable targets. We all aspire to a more secure digital world. We know the security status quo isn't good enough. Until Theon, we didn't see a clear, practical way forward. But now, I think Theon is a game changer. The old conflicts pitting high security against economy and efficiency, the CTO or CISO compromising with the COO, Theon is the beginning of the end of all that. Bottom line, Theon sets a new standard for state-of-the-art, efficient, software-based cryptography. Taking encryption to the next level changes everything. Theon technology is the paradigm shift that gets us there.